Every day, travelers on the future I-26 corridor in West Asheville must navigate a substandard freeway with inadequate capacity and ramps with sharp curves. Neither the interstate freeways nor these ramps meet today's interstate standards, while daily traffic delays and congestion are only getting worse as our population increases. Not surprisingly, this section of roadway has higher than average crash rates. To correct these problems and make the I-26 corridor complete, the North Carolina Department of Transportation has studied a series of improvements known as the I-26 Asheville Connector Project. The I-26 Asheville Connector Project would include upgrades to the I-26, I-40, I-240 interchange, and improvements to I-240 between I-40, I-26, and Patton Avenue west of the French Broad River. From here, a new section of freeway would be constructed to cross the French Broad River and merge into US 192370. The I-26 Asheville Connector Project is divided into three sections. Section C, which consists of the I-40 interchanges at the Smoky Park Highway, I-26 and I-240, and Brevard Road. Section A, which would widen I-240 from west of Brevard Road to just north of Haywood Road, and Section B, which extends I-26 across the French Broad River to connect with US 192370 towards Weaverville. In October 2015, the Draft Environmental Impact Statement, or DEIS, was published for review and comment by federal, state, and local agencies and the public. The DEIS summarized impacts of several alternatives studied in detail and their impact to the human and natural environment. In November 2015, project designs of all the alternatives studied in the DEIS were presented to the citizens of Asheville at a corridor public hearing so the public could provide NCDOT feedback on the design of the project and the proposed impacts. Based on comments received on the draft environmental impact statement and comments received at the public hearing, environmental and regulatory agencies met in May of 2016 to select a preferred alternative. The selection considered human and environmental impacts, feedback from the public, and how well the alternative addressed the transportation need for the project. Since selection of the preferred alternative, NCDOT has updated various technical studies, including an updated traffic forecast, which projects the volume of traffic predicted to use the surrounding road network using locally derived socioeconomic data. NCDOT used this forecast to prepare an updated traffic operations analysis that determines how well the proposed project and surrounding roads will operate in the future, recommends the number of lanes needed, and determines what interchange configurations and turning movements best meet the projected transportation demand. NCDOT is currently updating studies to determine what level of noise impacts are expected from the project, how federally threatened and endangered species will be impacted by the project, and determining best practices to mitigate impacts during construction. While preparing these updated studies, NCDOT also participated in periodic meetings with local organizations, adjacent neighborhoods, and historic property owners in order to better understand concerns and to obtain input on how the project could be refined to better fit within the context of Asheville while meeting local and regional needs. During this time, a project working group was also created, made up of local officials and representatives and members of NCDOT and FHWA to discuss the project throughout its development. Using this feedback, as well as data from the updated technical studies, preliminary designs for the preferred alternative were further refined to minimize impacts where possible. The preferred alternative in Section C, Alternative F1, would reconstruct the existing I-26, I-40, I-240 interchange in the same general configuration as today, but with the addition of two missing connections between I-40 and I-26, I-240. A new loop would connect I-26 East, I-240 West to I-40 East, while a new ramp would connect I-40 West to I-26 West, I-240 East. I-40 would be widened from near the Smoky Park Highway interchange through the Brevard Road interchange. With this alternative, traffic coming to and from I-26 and I-240 would have full access to Brevard Road from I-40. Major design revisions since the November 2015 corridor public hearing include the removal of the collector-distributor roads along I-40, reducing impacts to several commercial and residential properties. Additionally, the interchange configuration at Smoky Park Highway was revised to minimize impacts to businesses. The preferred alternative for Section A would widen I-240 from 4 lanes to 6 lanes and would provide upgrades at 3 interchanges. Major design revisions in Section A since the November 2015 corridor public hearing include the reduction of the number of through lanes on I-240 from 8 lanes to 6 lanes. Additionally, at Amboy Road, the previously proposed Amboy extension has been removed. Options were presented to the surrounding community, which resulted in a less impactful configuration. This new concept proposes a split diamond interchange configuration parallel to I-26, connecting Amboy Road and Brevard Road. A multi-use path would be constructed to the north of the ramps, connecting Brevard Road to Amboy Road and Carrier Park. Furthermore, at Amboy Road, traffic analyses determined the roadway would operate more efficiently and would minimize impacts even more if Amboy Road was positioned under I-26 as opposed to the current configuration. The interchange at Amboy Road would include roundabouts to the north and south, with ramps traveling parallel to I-26 and connecting to Brevard Road. A third interchange at Haywood Road would be designed as a tight urban diamond configuration, similar to how the interchange is laid out today. This design would relocate the current exit ramp from I-240 East that connects to Hanover Street and relocate it to connect directly to Haywood Road. The current ramp in the northeast quadrant would be reconfigured to eliminate two-way traffic. The preferred alternative in Section B, Alternative 4B, emerged through the efforts of the Asheville Design Center, a small group of local architects, in order to reduce the impact to developable land. This alternative was developed to separate the local traffic on Patton Avenue from the I-240 through traffic. To accomplish this, the split between I-26 and I-240 would be moved north of the interchange at Patton Avenue, allowing the Captain Jeff Bowen bridges to carry only local Patton Avenue traffic. Alternative 4B's alignment for the combined I-26 I-240 would cross Patton Avenue slightly west of the Westgate Shopping Center and run through the edge of the Crowne Plaza Golf Course. I-26 would then split from I-240 and cross Smith Mill Creek, the Murphy Branch line of the Norfolk Southern Railway, Emma Road, and the French Broad River along a complex bridge structure. The I-26 bridge crossing would tie back to US 1923-70 in the vicinity of Riverside Cemetery, where it would become an elevated bridge over the existing lanes of US 1923-70. The I-26 mainline bridge would end at the north end of the Montfort neighborhood, where the lanes of US 1923-70 would merge into I-26. To the north, I-26 would continue to the Broadway interchange. Alternative 4B at the I-26 I-240 split would turn east and cross the French Broad River along 2 new flyover bridges. Braided ramps will be used on the east side of the split to avoid weaving as a result of the close proximity to the Patton Avenue interchange. In harmony with multiple plans by the City of Asheville to accommodate bicycle and pedestrian efforts, a greenway is proposed along Section A and Section B. Shown here in Alternative 4B, the greenway begins at Haywood Road and will follow the I-26 improvements, where it merges with Patton Avenue to cross the French Broad River, linking to other destinations in downtown Asheville. Design changes made to the preferred alternative, as well as any new information since publication of the 2015 Draft Environmental Impact Statement, are discussed in detail in the final Environmental Impact Statement. Additionally, responses to comments received on the Draft Environmental Impact Statement and at the Corridor Public Hearing are included in the final Environmental Impact Statement. Coordination with the City of Asheville will continue throughout project development and into final design to determine bicycle and pedestrian accommodations as well as various aesthetic features throughout the project. Public comments received at this public meeting and on the final Environmental Impact Statement will be included in the Record of Decision, the final decision document for the project that is published before being advertised for construction and property acquisition begins. Thank you for your attention. Please remember that your input is important to NCDOT.